Marcus Galvo, this baddest man on the planet. I have belts all over my waist. You get the opportunity to get in the cage, get your ass beat like the rest of them. I could keep doing this shit.
Welcome to this week's edition of the MMA Analysis podcast. We do have a special Around the Horn edition since we do have no fights to break down of I guess, relevance this weekend. Jay died in a car wreck, so he's not going to be on the show this week. But we do have my other co-host and some special guests. First up, the Canadian Jew, Brad Tashchuk. Brad, what's up? You missed Jay yet?
No. I feel offended, though, because apparently with Jay not here, nobody wanted to be my partner, but I guess no partner is better than Jay as a partner.
Exactly. If anything, Jay lost you like 7 points last time we played this. I didn't keep score, or I don't even remember if I awarded a winner, but it probably cost you.
Yeah, I would also like to give a shout-out to Asha Picard, who is a big fan of the MMA Analysis. She really appreciates, especially our sense of Jewish humor, Lance. She's recently followed the MMA Analysis Twitter account, and big MMA fan.
Yep. Bless her heart. Next up, my other co-host, Sean Carey. Sean, we started the show late tonight because of you. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
It's not because of me, Lance. It's actually because of Dougie. It was and he told me not to tell you guys this, but Dougie is actually making his TV premiere tonight, and that's the reason why he couldn't get on the podcast.
Is he on Luke's new TV show?
No, he's actually going to be on a show called To Catch a Predator. Have you guys ever heard of that?
It's great.
There's something about eating cookies and drinking lemonade, and then I don't know what happens after that. But
right.
I'll be watching.
I'm sorry he couldn't make it. Good luck. So we do have a couple of guests. I think everyone's been on the show before, I believe, right? Hoff, you've been on the show, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, so we have a bunch of repeat guests. First off, Casey. He's at Hoff23 on Twitter. Can't talk right now. Casey, say what's up to everyone.
What's happening?
That's it?
No insight? No insight. I'm the least insightful panelist ever. Be prepared.
No, Jay is definitely the least insightful panelist.
But the most long-winded.
Right? Next up, he was on a couple weeks ago, Joey G. Joey, what's up, man?
Oh, not too much, guys. Thanks for having me back on. Just ready to hold it down for Texas on the Around the Horn again tonight.
So we have one person on this show we have two people from Texas on the show as guests tonight. One of them loves Texas. One of them absolutely hates Texas. That's Jeremy. Jeremy, what's up?
Boom. What's up?
Boom it is. All right, let me pull this old agenda back up. So this is the Around the Horn edition. I'm going to give points randomly based on nothing whatsoever. Really absolutely nothing. So I was thinking maybe we change it up a little bit. So instead of asking all six people the same exact question, I'm going to go through the team. So each team is going to give the answer. So one person from the team is going to give the answer instead of all six people doing it. And Brad, since you had two partners drop out on you today, it must be a Jew thing. I don't know, anti-Semitic stuff. But
how is this podcast so anti-Semitic? It's ridiculous.
I know, considering like 50% of the hosts and about 90% of the brain are Jewish.
Yep.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So the teams are Team Texas, which are Jeremy and Joey, and then we have, I don't have a team name, Sean and Hoff.
That'll work. Team Raiders.
You guys want a team name?
The Raiders.
I don't want to be the Raiders because then we'll definitely lose.
Exactly.
I got nothing. So your team nothing.
We know. Okay.
All right. So you guys remember the order. So your team. Brad is Team Brad. Jeremy and Joey are Team Texas. Hoff and Sean are Team Nothing. So you guys remember who goes what on each question, because I'm not going to pick that. So decide amongst yourself who goes first, and then give each other hand signals through the video that is not turned on. You guys got that?
Sure.
Copy.
Perfect. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through, and we're going to start with the recap, which was UFC Fight Night 62, which we had a bunch of Magma, some weird stoppages, just some weird shit going on. So I'm going to kind of break this up into random questions, and we'll go through. So starting off, preliminary card we had in the Fight Pass, we had Freddie Serrano defeating Bentley Sire by knockout, and we had Christos Giagos defeating Jorge de Oliveira by submission choke. So, the question is, and we'll start with Sean's team, name a good movie that you've seen recently.
Did I run out of time?
Yeah.
I don't know. And 0 points for Sean.
God damn it.
We'll move on now to Team Brad. Brad, what's a good movie you've seen lately?
I haven't even seen it yet, but even the trailers for Fast and Furious 7 are just fantastic. That's going to be
a good answer.
The greatest action movie of our time.
Name a good movie you've seen lately. I haven't seen it, but...
Is that like the best wrestler in the UFC is Ben Askren answer from last time?
Ooh, that's not bad. And then Team Texas. One of you go. Let's start. You can pick amongst yourself. Whoever talks first, go. Anyway.
Alrighty. Well, I saw it in the theater when it was out, and then I also got a bootleg copy from my friend the other day, but I really enjoyed the movie Interstellar. I thought that Matthew McConaughey did a great job, and it was a really, really good movie.
I think I'm going to have to give that point to Team Texas just because they are the only people to say a movie. That was like some Celebrity Jeopardy shit. Like with
I'll take the rapist for 800.
That's therapist. All right, now we'll actually maybe talk about some fights because I figured those movie talk would be much more exciting than, whatever the fuck those fights were. Did you guys watch those fights?
Those fights were actually pretty good.
I thought they were pretty good. No?
I've never heard of anything.
That uppercut, that was something beautiful.
He
Ivan
definitely
Menjivar
face-planted.
really knocked out that Bolivian dude.
Ivan Menjivar. All right, let's move on to some fights now. Preliminary card, Fox Sports 2. Leandro Mafra defeated... Mafra? I don't know who these people are. I seriously have no idea. Defeated King Kiriasa by decision. Unanimous decision, 30-26, 30-27, 30-27. Leandro Silva defeated Drew Dober by technical submission. Guillotine choke. So, of those two fights, here's a question for you. And I don't know if there's a correct answer or whatever it is, but name a worse referee decision. We'll start with Team Texas.
Is there one? There's not one.
Yeah. You got to pick
There's
one.
not one.
Yeah,
there is not one. Seriously.
That's a wrong answer. All right, time. Name another one. Name one that's close. There's got to be something.
A referee decision that's worse? There isn't one.
No. It's got to be one of, like, the 10-2 elbow ones. That's it.
John, first of all, it's not your turn.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Second of all, Team Texas, you can't say nothing. You got to pick another really bad referee decision.
Oh, man. Jeremy, you have anything here? I'll go ahead and say, since we're hesitating, that I was really pissed when Eric Silva got DQ'd in Brazil for hitting... Well, no, that was Carlo Prater fight. That was a pretty bad referee decision, but it wasn't even close to this one.
That was an answer, though, so it's an improvement. Brad, I'm sure you got something here. You watch a lot of regional garbage.
I would think a terrible referee decision was when that guy passed out between rounds 4 and 5 in an RFA card, and they let him keep fighting in round 5. So the referee's gonna, that was a bad one.
That was a fucking awesome one. And then lastly, Team Sean and Hoff.
Casey, take it away.
Any other bad ref decisions when they don't take points away from grabbing the cage, which they do every single fight. It drives me insane. It's fight changing. It's ridiculous. They should all be fired, and we should get good refs who can take points away for people grabbing the cage.
That's a solid answer.
Thanks for being
solid
specific.
answer.
So every fight is worse than
every
that
single
ref
one
decision,
of them.
according
hate
to
it.
Hoff.
That's multiple answers, really.
That's awful. That's worse than no answer.
Point.
I see. I was hoping someone would talk about. God, what was it? What was it? Was it Joe?
You don't even know?
Was it Joe Warren versus Pat Curran?
Oh, letting that fight go on forever?
Where Joe Warren died. Joe Warren ate 416 consecutive shots to the face.
Oh. I was actually going to say UFC 2, when Pat Smith elbowed Scott Morris in the face about 74 times, and John McCarthy was just standing around like, can I stop it? Should I stop it? No. Is he dead yet? No, not yet.
How about the same ref on the same card that let Blade go unconscious and tap to that choke 47 different times?
No, that was good because that was my boy Iago.
Literally the same ref.
What about when Phil Baroni almost beat the shit out of Larry Landless whenever he stopped that fight between him and Evan Tanner?
That was the corpse of Evan Tanner.
Yes.
Wasn't there a Danzig fight too?
Yeah, Danzig
With
and
Matt Wyman. Yeah.
Yes.
There's some good shit. I'm gonna go point
Lesnar
Brad
losing a
because
point.
that was really funny. So I'm going point Brad there.
Yes.
So next up, the last two fights in the preliminary card. We had in the featherweight division, Kevin Souza defeating Katsunori Kikunu by KO punch in the first round. And then we have in the lightweight division, Francisco Trinaldo defeated Akbar Ariola. This is that Mexican dude, right?
Drop.
Yep. The Pooch.
So the question is, who has a worse fighting style than Katsunori Kikudo, the Japanese fella?
For watching or for the safety of his own brain?
Let's just say stupid. Who has a worse, stupid looking, who looks more dumb in an octagon than Kikuno? John?
Clay Guida.
Team Sean?
Clay Guida absolutely looks dumber than everybody, including Kikuno. He just jumps around with that stupid mop flipping around. I can't stand him.
Somebody crackling popcorn into their microphone.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too.
Yeah. Stop
Gotta
eating
be
a candy
Sean.
bar.
Is that Sean snorting a line?
No. What kind of line crackles, you fucking
I don't
fuck
know.
expert?
That's a good point. Well, maybe some really bad shit. I'm gonna say, I think it's Joey.
What are you talking about?
The crackling?
Alright, I think it's Hoff.
That ain't me.
It stopped.
Jeremy?
That ain't me.
I heard it. I don't know what it was.
There it is,
Joey.
Yeah.
It's coming from Joey. I looked on Skype and it's lighting up when
Yeah,
it goes on.
he lighted up.
Yeah.
Joey, stop doing what you're doing, you're fired.
I'm sitting
so-
still watching this awful basketball game.
You stop that. Alright,
Okay.
we're going to, what do we got? Team Brad.
You have to go back a few years, but UFC 53, Koji Oishi, when he fought Nick Diaz, he tried to block Nick Diaz's punches with his own punches. And he got knocked out in a minute 24.
That was awesome. Good answer.
To block his... I need to watch this.
You need to watch it.
He
Yeah.
tried to punch Diaz's punches?
Yeah. All punch too. He talked about how his style, he kept talking about how his style was going to be awesome leading up to it. It was awesome.
Wow.
Alright. And then lastly, we have Team Texas.
I wouldn't exactly call his fighting a style, but Josh Copeland definitely is worse. His style is pretty much dive in and get destroyed. I mean, he's
That's a really bad
probably
answer.
the worst fighter.
Did you have any points before this question?
Wait. Should we answer that question?
Joey takes over.
This is like Billy Madison. You will be awarded 0, and may God have mercy on your soul. You have to sleep with Buzz's girlfriend now. Alright, that's point Brad for creativity. Alright,
Nice.
next up, we'll go through the first three here, as we have in the featherweight division, Godofrede Hot Magma Pepe defeated Andre Fili by flying, you can't even make this shit up, flying triangle choke. Was it even a triangle? I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was.
I think I
Yeah,
forgot.
it was. It lasted a minute and a half.
Oh, God. Fucking got it from Pepe. Gilbert Burns defeated Alex Oliveira by submission armbar. Comeback victory. Amanda Nunes defeated Shayna Baszler by TKO leg kicks. I'll just go through for the next one, too. And Leonardo Santos defeated Tony Martin by submission rear naked choke. So, the question here, who else are you 100% certain, not counting Godofrede Pepe, is on steroids? Brad?
Not counting Godofrede Pepe. Damn.
He's like 120%. Like, there's no doubt. Did you see the tweet I sent to Dana White?
Yeah.
After I tweeted out that timeline.
Yeah, I took your picture and I tweeted it to him and I said, "It's normal?"
It's weird. He gets like a special type of acne on his abs when you can clearly tell that he's on extra steroids. It's awesome.
He has muscles where there's not even muscles. Like, there's nothing there that should produce a muscle.
But yeah, another guy that's clearly on steroids. I'm gonna go with Conor McGregor because Irish people are not good at anything, so the only reason he's good at fighting is because of steroids.
That's weak. It's a weak answer. Team Texas.
Do they still have to be current in the UFC?
Yes.
Ugh. Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm gonna say Cole Miller.
What?
Cole Miller on the turf.
He's so swole.
Yeah. Someone give me if you guys even give like a remotely okay answer. Team Sean Hoff.
Yeah, Casey, bail us out.
I got this. On this card, I was really surprised. Obviously, on the old Magma, it was a man named Nunes. She was, that man should have never been in there with Shayna Baszler. That was rude. She destroyed her. He was obviously on the Magma. Should have never let that a man named Nunes against Shayna Baszler. Poor girl. She's the worst horseman. Not fair. Not right, Dana.
I'll give a point for that. So point Sean Hoff. I don't know the points now, but let's continue.
I'm winning.
So lastly, to finish off, there was a more acceptable answer, and that was Damian Maia, but it's okay. Welterweight division, Eric Silva defeated Josh Koscheck by submission guillotine choke, but improvement by Koscheck here. There was no foam. And lastly, in the welterweight division, Damian Maia defeated Ryan LaFleur by unanimous decision. So if you guys remember, in the 5th round of this fight, it was kind of like, and I made this comment about Rory McDonald and Damian Maia in the third round, when Maia could basically not even function as a human being, and Rory couldn't finish. And I was like, what we learned tonight, Rory can't finish a corpse. So we saw this in the 5th round, and this was even way worse. Maia literally couldn't stand up at certain points, and LaFleur couldn't even hurt him. So my question being, who has less power than Ryan LaFleur? Team Texas.
I guess that's me, huh?
Yeah, come up with a better answer this time.
I've got a great answer, though.
You guys aren't good at the improv.
The Magma, come on.
I got a good one.
You going with Big Madoff?
Yeah.
No!
Oh.
That is a pretty good answer.
It's not a bad answer. It's not a bad answer. All right, we'll go to Team Sean Hoff.
Let's go Neil Magny. I hate him. He's terrible. He has no power whatsoever. He can't wrestle. He's the worst wrestler, and every wrestler is better.
Imagine if we could just combine Neil Magny and Rashid Magomedov.
That's the great. That's Magny Medoff. I've already done that. Thank you.
I know. All right, Brad, can you beat this? Who has the least amount of power?
You know what? I'm going to tell you who doesn't have less power than Ryan LaFleur, and that is Ella Fischel.
Ella Fischel can knock people out.
That's right. But for who has less power than Ryan LaFleur, I'm going to go with another Ryan. I'm going to say Ryan Couture.
He's terrible.
That's a pretty good one. He was second behind the corpse of Evan Tanner. Evan Tanner's now a regular on the show. If you guys didn't know, Ryan Couture. That's a good answer. That's the winner. That guy seriously couldn't knock someone out if they were tied to the octagon with rope. He's like tied against the cage. And they're like, just drop him, Ryan. I can't drop him. Can I fight the gay guy? The guy who does gay porn? That'd be fun. Alright, so that'll do it for UFC Fight Night 62 recap. Actually pretty entertaining show for the most part. We had a guy who was just completely steroid raging out in the cage, some comeback victories, some other clearly steroid guys. Josh Koscheck died again. Tony Martin gave up and started crying and quit again, biggest quitter in the sport. So it was a fun card.
And I went 12-0 and won Fightmaster, or not Fightmaster, Toutmaster.
So we have Bellator 135 questions. We have Bellator World Series questions, and then we jump into the other questions. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, we can do that. All right, we're going to go over Bellator 135 and World Series of Fighting 19. Both super terrible cards. You could combine these cards and they would still suck ass. Right? All right. How many men on the planet are badder than Joe Warren? I'm not reading the second part. Stupid. As you guys know, I'm a pretty big Joe Warren fan because A, wrestler, B, baddest man on the planet, C, once did not pick a guy on that stupid Fightmaster show because the guy thanked God. That was real. That happened. He was like, yeah, I don't think we're going to get along. So, I'll start with Team Texas. Is there a badder man on the planet?
Well, Lance, there's only one man batter on the planet, and that's the undisputed but uncrowned UFC welterweight champion, Ben Askren.
That's the correct answer. Shall we move on?
I think so.
The only way you're going to find different answers here is if you leave the MMA world and look at some of Lance's all-time favorite athletes.
They're always the right answer.
Brock
That's
Lesnar?
right.
I gave you a hint. Team Brad, is there a better man than Ben Askren?
Well, obviously Brock Lesnar is the baddest man on the planet because he's an undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion that actually defends his belt.
Minus 1 point. You had a good lead. You just what I like to call pulled a jag.
I'm trying to even the playing field here because it's too easy.
That's fair. And Team Sean Hoff.
Casey, go ahead. Talk about Tito.
Okay, alright, this is personal experience. The only badder man I've ever met in my entire life than Joe Warden is Lionel Richie. I once went to a Lionel Richie concert. 50-40 open for him. I'm like the coolest guy ever, so everybody let me backstage. All Lionel Richie does is play a repeat of the thong song and pull ass for days. All day, all night. Lionel Richie is the man. Joe Warden can't touch Lionel Richie.
That was a good answer. I almost want to give the point to you.
No, we get the point.
He went Ben Askren.
Yeah.
So that was a
Doesn't
kind of
matter.
giveaway.
We're
All right, how
dancing
about
on the ceiling.
All right, half a point.
Oh,
Point.
what a
The only
feeling.
other acceptable answer would have been Steve Young.
That's
Yeah.
lame.
That's the only other acceptable
That's
answer.
lame.
I convinced
The
my
most
entire
concussed man on the
when I was
planet.
in elementary school. I convinced the entire grade that Steve Young was my uncle. When I was in like 4th grade. Yep. There's that.
I feel like Casey had a lot of momentum going with the Lionel Richie, and you just killed it with the Steve Young.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Steve,
How dare you.
he was the other answer. But yeah, I'll split the points in half there because that was a good answer.
We get a
All right.
half a point.
True story.
What is your favorite guy I've never heard of fight?
What?
Brad?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's a pretty
Hideo-
good question.
Hideo Takoro?
you have to read the second part. The second part makes sense here.
If you're like Lance and hate tiny Japanese men, why are you such a racist? Brad?
I actually like Hideo Tokoro, so my favorite fight of his is probably with Abel Cullum back in Dream. It was in their GP. Go watch it. I know Lance won't, but everyone else should.
What
I don't
happens?
know who-
Does he punch punches?
No, they just they grapple the grapples.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. All right, Team Texas.
The only correct answer is who the fuck is that, and who the fuck cares?
Wait a second.
That's a good
Yeah.
answer.
There's a good answer though.
That
That's
is a good answer.
This
That
is
was
a
a
really
good
good answer too, though, Jeremy. Have you ever seen his fight against Hellboy Hansen?
No.
It's awesome.
I haven't seen any of his fights. Who the
No,
fuck
it's a
cares?
great fight because in the first 5 minutes of the fight's not even 5 minutes long, but within the first 1 minute of the fight, there's a nut shot, which is perfect because he's going to Bellator. Not to mention that after the first nut shot, there's like 5 minutes of commentary about ballsack and nuts between Mike Chiavello and Frank Trigg, where Frank Trigg goes on to say that he believes that his nutsack is not his weak spot, so he's basically saying that he's immune to nut shots. But then they restart the fight, and then there's another even worse nut shot where they talk about massaging the testicles in the round. They talk about massaging the testicles to heal the nut shot. And then Hellboy goes on to get a mounted, holy shit, whose phone's ringing.
That is minus 1 point.
That wasn't me,
It wasn't me.
obviously.
It was
Unacceptable.
Anyway, mounted
Whoever it is.
triangle finished pretty sick, but the nut shot was worth it. So anyway, yes, Hellboy.
Look, I
wins
just
it.
looked him up. He's had 59 fights, and I haven't seen one.
How have you not seen any of his fights? Seriously.
I never heard of him.
Oh
Hey,
my
Sean.
goodness.
Team Sean Hoff.
Yeah, I think. How dare you?
That is disrespectful to the podcast.
Damn it.
I think that I just don't like Japanese people. I mean, they're really weird. I think it's because they've been nuked once. They sell panties and vending machines.
Now
you
I
can
know why
have
Dougie
eels.
didn't want to come on the podcast.
Yeah, you
You
guys
can
are
have-
horrible.
Who wrote the question? You said, explain why I'm so racist. I'm doing it. Give me a break. You can put eels in your vagina in Japanese porn, but you can't show pubic hair. There's something inherently wrong with that. There's my answer.
Yeah, the answer was simple. It was Pearl Harbor.
That's a good one too. There you go.
You ever been to Pearl Harbor?
No. Who's been to Pearl Harbor?
I've been to Pearl Harbor. There's one astonishing thing when you're at Pearl Harbor. So when you first get in there, you go into like this movie theater type room. They kind of get you in there, and you're in like a theater with like 100, like probably like 120 people in there, and you're watching this video of like what happened with Pearl Harbor and the bombings and blah blah blah. And literally, of the 120 people, 115 of them are Japanese. Like, literally, it's almost like you're in Japan. They're watching, like, a celebratory video of when we kicked Pearl Harbor's ass.
Did they apologize to you?
We killed everyone in Pearl Harbor? That was awesome. But I'm going to go point Sean.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
He
good.
didn't answer the
We're
question
winning.
properly.
Yeah. So, I don't want to talk about Frankie Cars. Can we skip that one?
I suppose.
I think you just wanted me to say Frankie Cars, right?
Pretty much. Yep.
So pretty much, point Brad.
Yes!
No way! He doesn't have a teammate. Come on, show some respect.
He
Sean.
made the
All right.
question.
So, what's the thing?
So I get a point for constructing the agenda. There you go.
Alright, we're going to throw in a bonus point here. A random question. How does Lance Fishel finish Joanna Jurgeka? Sean Hart.
Guillotine.
Headbutt to the top of her foot. That's what I'm going with. Direct kick to the mug.
Brad, you would pick me, right?
100% rape choke.
Oh, yes! Seriously, like, think about it for a second. Obviously, I could take her down, right? How would she stop my rape choke?
Yep.
You have
I'm saying.
I'm like, you know, like a 155-pound person on top of a 110-pound woman, knees on her arms, so she can't move, just choking the shit out of her. Close your eyes, picture that. She's on the ground, my knees are both on her biceps, she can't move, I'm just choking her. It's either yell out, or you die.
Well, I supposed to keep these fetish things to yourself, buddy.
I just want to fight her. That's all I want to do. More than anything. How much would you guys pay to have me fight her?
A lot. I would pay a
lot.
lot to see that.
I'd
Especially
pay more
in
than
Poland.
the UFC 186 pay-per-view.
Yeah.
What do you think Nick would set the line at?
Ooh.
I'm a
AJ,
grown man.
How much wrestling footage is there of you?
Enough where I have wrestled for 1 minute and I'm a man. I am a man. She is a tiny little lady.
What
She
weight
is
is the fight
100
at?
It's a catch weight.
Of?
160.
Because if you had to cut down to like 135, then you might just be a corpse in there. You might as well
We
have
can-
Evan Tanner in there.
Plus
We can make
250
it-
Lance.
Oh, 135 would be nothing. I can make that.
How is it a catch weight if you went up 5 pounds?
It's called a catch.
That would
Well, I mean,
That's the catch.
I'm like, I'm like 158. I don't want to cut the additional 3. I don't want to cut the additional 3 pounds. So yeah, I want to fight her really bad.
It's not going to happen, Lance. She's champ. You got to work your way up the ladder.
Can't anything happen in like countries like Poland? Is that even a real country? What if I bought Poland and demanded her to fight me?
That's
A
the
Jew asking if Poland's a real country.
That's right. Know
I
your
want you
history,
trying to
Lance.
buy Poland. Yeah. My
I'd
journey
really
turned
like
out
to buy
over there.
Poland and fight her. That's a dream of mine. So I guess we'll move on, but it's pretty obvious I would rape choke her.
Lance, are you the best wrestler in the country of Poland?
Do you think I don't know? Probably. I mean, I haven't shot a double leg in 12 years.
So maybe you're top 3 then.
So at least top 3.
All
Like
right,
pound
fair
for
enough.
pound. God. What we talk about that one day, Georgia? Said I was the best,
the best
I was the
wrestler in
best
Georgia.
wrestler in the country of Georgia. And we talked about how the state of Georgia could beat the entire country of Georgia in wrestling. Oh, God. All right, let's move on now. How many lightweights in the UFC could Ryan Couture and Dakota Cochran beat if they got to fight every match as a handicap match? That's so good. Point Brad. That's a good question. All right, Team Texas. So if it was 2-on-1, how many could they beat? And you cannot use Fabricio Camois.
All right. I don't know, man. If you put Dakota Cocker in there with more than one dude, he's probably finishing a lot faster.
You might have PTSD and get a flashback.
I don't know. There'd be a lot of finishing going on.
Sean Hoff?
Casey? Gay joke?
Yeah. I was gonna say they wouldn't finish anybody because insert gay joke with each other.
There you go.
Don't just say insert gay joke count as a J joke. I don't think it worked. Alright, Brad?
Well, if the rumors about Josh Thompson are true, that Frank Shamrock used to put out there back in the day, then maybe he'd be distracted by Dakota Cochran, and Ryan Couture can sneak in like a rear naked choke or something. So I'm going to say Josh Thompson, and that's it.
There's Josh Thompson rumors?
Yeah? You've never heard those?
No, tell me.
He seems... Not that there's anything wrong with it, but he seems like a gay.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't he really, like, right-wing? Well, alright. Never
He
mind.
is really right.
Never mind.
A little
Answered
too
my own
right
question.
wing, wouldn't you say,
Yeah.
Sean?
He's the one who always bashes gay marriage, right?
Yeah. That makes sense.
He's definitely
Okay.
gay.
Is there video?
I'm
No.
convinced anyone who bashes gay marriage is gay.
It does kind of seem to coincide that one day you're talking about no gay marriage, the other day you're tapping your foot in a bathroom stall in the airport.
There's really no other explanation. Alright. Well, next question. Is Justin Gaethje's only hope to get to the UFC, the World Series of Fighting, closing their doors? If he does fight in the UFC, where do you rank him in the division? Brad?
Yeah, I think that is his only shot to get in the UFC, because, I don't know, Ali is like, maybe he's the third member of ISIS, I don't know, but it kind of seems like it. They seem to hold people hostage, and if he fights in the UFC, I think he's maybe like 30th in the division. I don't think he's very good.
30th?
Yep.
30th. Who's the 30th ranked lightweight?
In the UFC?
Yeah, who do you think would be?
Give me, go to somebody else and they'll get back to you after their answer.
Like Fabricio Comois.
No, he's
I
like
will say-
70th.
So, alright, so let's take a look at the number 11th ranked lightweight.
Number 11th is Josh Thompson.
No, he's the number 9th. Do you think he would beat the number 11th ranked lightweight in a staring contest?
No.
Bobby Green would just sit there and eat punches until he walked
Oh.
around and be like, "It's bullshit, man, bullshit.
I'm not looking at
Bullshit,
the
my brother got
UFC
shot, man, bullshit."
Bobby Green he would beat, but I don't rank Bobby Green in the top 30 either, so...
He's 11th.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Justin Gaethje is a top 15 guy.
You think he beats Al Iaquinta?
way.
I don't think he beats Al, but I think he beats some guys inside there. Like, I think Jim Miller's completely washed.
Yeah,
Bobby Green,
Paul
he
Felder's
gets-
going to take Jim Miller's spot in like 2 weeks.
Thompson seems kind of completely washed. Edson Barboza could eat one punch and go night-night.
No.
You know.
Justin
Alright.
Gaethje sucks.
Yeah, he's not good.
He's
I
not
don't
good. He's terrible.
I don't think he's as terrible as you guys think. So, Sean and Hoff.
He'd be good. Like if you broke him up into like quarters, he's like in the second quarter of lightweights. You know what I mean? Like the bottom. He'd be good against the Darren Cruikshanks of the world.
He would definitely beat Darren Cruikshank, I think.
Maybe.
I think that's a good. I think that's a
Ceiling.
good assessment.
Would he beat Beneil Dariush, though?
Nope.
Yes, easily.
No,
No, he
I don't think
wouldn't.
so.
I would
No.
set him as a 3-1 favorite against Dariush.
According to Fight Matrix, Gleison Tebow is the 30th ranked lightweight in the world, and I think he beats Justin Gaethje.
He beats Gaethje's
No.
ass all day.
You
I
saw
don't
him
think-
fight a one-armed man, right, Lance?
I don't
Yeah,
think.
he was
I don't think he
terrible.
could take. I like Tebow. I do, but I don't think he could take down Gaethje. And Tebow's never won a fight he couldn't get a takedown in.
What does Gaethje do that makes you like him? What's good?
I mean, he has decent wrestling and he has knockout power.
But he gets punched in the face a lot.
Yeah, he gets
Does?
hit off a lot.
Well,
he,
obviously, he must have a good chin then.
he gasses out against guys with one arm a lot.
And you really shouldn't look at Fight Matrix because Fight Matrix also has Will Brooks as the number 5 ranked guy in the universe.
It's true.
I think
So-
he would beat Justin Gaethje, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
Will Brooks is straight trash.
What do you think about Michael Chandler?
But Michael Chandler was like your third-ranked guy. One. He was number one.
Michael Chandler obviously had some emotional problems.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, what happened to him? He said,
I've never beat twice.
I've never seen a guy just completely drop off that quick
Brooks
without being old. Without being old. But it wasn't just that his number. It was like literally in the second fight. It was like, oh, this is Michael Chandler's first career bout. Like he's never fought before. I wonder how he's gonna do.
If you throw the Alvarez fight out of the window, you can say that, you know, when shit doesn't go his way, it falls apart, because that's the way it looked in the Will Brooks fights.
True. What about Miles Jury versus Gaethje?
Miles Jury out.
Jury, yeah, easy.
You think?
Michael Chandler against Justin Gaethje would be a fun fight.
They would. Chandler would just not do anything.
No, they'd both just get hit with every punch the other one threw.
I mean, I would probably rank Gaethje in the top 20 for sure.
He may be top 25, maybe.
For sure.
So, where do you rank him after he gets beat this week?
By that little Mexican dude?
Speaking of that, I've got 2 units on Luis Palomino.
Yeah.
250.
1.5 on Palomino.
Why don't you just donate those units to a nice charity for a good cause?
No, he's gonna eat some shots.
The Tony Williams charity?
So it's a 5-round fight, and if Palomino doesn't finish in the first 5 minutes, he basically just blacks out on the canvas.
What, Gaethje
Like he just falls. You don't even have to hit him. He literally just falls asleep in the middle of the ring.
I don't know. Gaethje looks terrible twice in a row.
Palomino's 34 going on 78.
But he's a mean son of a bitch.
MMA Masters.
That's about the time
MMA
they
Masters.
hit the Magma, though.
He trains with Ricardo Lamas.
Oh.
Does Lamas doesn't train there anymore. He switched camps.
No, he doesn't. He trains there.
You sure?
Yep.
Swear he moved.
Yep. He was even in... Palomino was even in that video that he did making fun of Conrad McGillicuddy.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just a good actor and he's not part of the camp. He just hired him as an actor.
Could be.
All right, so who's next on the Gaethje question? Is it Texas?
Yeah, sure.
Does anybody like Justin Gaethje?
No.
Just because the one-arm fight?
That's definitely part
The
of it.
Melvin fight too. I mean, come on. He's just not that good.
I don't think he's great. I don't think he's a top 5, top 10 guy.
Maybe
I think
top
he's
25. Maybe top 25.
I think he's top 20.
I gotta say the Gillard fight didn't impress me, especially considering Melvin was bloated as shit.
Melvin was on the coke
barely.
fight.
Melvin's a tough dude, though.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Remember when he got knocked out by a jab by Joe
He's got a good
Stevenson?
chin. He's got a good chin and good work
Joey
ethic.
fucking Lozon.
All right, let's move on. We're getting off subject.
Are you done backpedaling on Gaethje? We move on now?
I was just trying to be devil's advocate, though I don't think he's as
okay.
terrible as you guys.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the. We're going to skip the last question because I don't care.
What?
I'm sorry. You should have put it first. You liked it better. I'll read them though for you. We're not going to answer them. Do you know the fighters in the World Series of Fighting Light Heavyweight Tournament? No. Just know who they are.
Nope.
It was like the Jeopardy. Say a word.
Any word and you win.
Any word at all. Give me a number. V. That is correct. That's number 5. And what did you wager? Suck it, Trebek. And how many drug tests does Thiago Silva fail between now and when the tournament finishes?
Isn't the fight in Arizona?
I don't know. All right, let's move on to the Around the Horn questions. So, Trish Crane, who everyone knows on Twitter, really awesome girl, met her in Cincinnati, goes to a lot of fights, huge fan. She actually wrote all these questions for us, so they're going to suck a lot less than we've seen so far, because Brad's retarded.
Hey, my question, you were literally laughing while you were reading my questions.
Your questions were pretty funny, I'll admit it. Her questions are more like actual questions, as opposed to whatever the fuck that we just did, which was basically go on tangents about nothing. Did I even award any points for any of those questions?
Yeah, you gave me all the points.
Yep.
Point Sean!
Excellent.
All right.
Point Sean.
So, starting out with the Around the Horn, these are more serious when we actually talk about MMA instead of whatever happened in the last 10 minutes. So, question number 1. We'll start with Brad. What fight do you show a coworker friend who starts showing some interest in MMA?
You know what? A lot of people will say like Shogun, Hendo, or something like that, but that fight is too long to hold most people's interest. So I show them something like Nick Diaz, Paul Daly, where it's just two guys bombing on each other for like 4 minutes. It's short enough to hold people's interest, but still awesome. So Diaz Daly will be my answer.
Team Texas.
I will have to go back to a fight it was at the first event that I ever saw live, and that was at UFC 136, Frankie Edgar, Gray Maynard 3, where Edgar proceeded to get his ass handed to him in the first round again, and then made an epic comeback and culminated in an awesome knockout. Awesome fight.
That's perfect answer.
That fight was in Texas. Team Texas. Good tie-in. Very good tie-in.
There you go.
All right, Team Sean Hoff.
Yeah, I usually show him Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit because I don't want my sport to become more popular and then more people watch it. I'm like, this is what it's all about, folks. Watch this shit.
This was fight of the year. Does not get better than this.
They're usually enthralled, and that's the end of it. It's great.
Oh god. So Sean's was funny, but we were trying to actually do real questions here.
Damn it.
So I'm going to go point Texas. Edgar Maynard 2 and 3 to me is just the greatest thing. Like both, I can just put those fights on together and just watch them all the fucking time.
Wrestling, blah blah blah. No one cares.
Change of pants necessary for those fights.
Both guys Division I wrestlers. All right, moving on. What fighter do you have to watch no matter who, where, when they're fighting? So basically, who's your most exciting, most favorite fighter to watch? I'll start with Team Texas.
I'm going to go right now. At the current state in MMA, I'm going to go Conor McGregor. I mean, I'm not going to miss this fight, period. I mean, the trash talking, the shit talking, backing it up, KOing people, I mean, it's what MMA is all about right now.
Boom. Josh Copeland also would have been an acceptable answer.
Sean got that answer earlier.
Casey? Yeah?
Oh, mine? It's easy, not any question. The Cubano crazy Yoel Romero. You never know what's going to happen. He's probably going to bite someone's ear off one day. So much turd flowing through his body with the magma. You just never know. It's going to be awesome. You got to watch it.
He could also literally shit all over himself. So he shits all over himself, and 30 seconds later, he gets really mad that he shits himself, throws one punch and breaks the dude's jaw in half. Is that not the Romero? Is that not his entire career? Loses the first round, gets out-wrestled by a guy who doesn't really know how to wrestle very well, shits himself, and then breaks the guy's jaw.
You're making my point. There it is.
Have you guys ever seen that ankle pick that he did? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Did he ever ankle pick the ankle picker?
He ankle picked this one guy, but it just amounted to him like Inspector Gadgeting handed like this guy's ankle, and they just flipped him into the air. It's fucking great. If you've never seen it, you need to see it.
I gotta say, if I'm wrestling a guy who shit his pants, I'm probably gonna lose too. I mean,
yeah, but he got his jaw fucking wired shut after the fight. On top of it, like goddamn. Yoel Romero beat Cael Sanderson 3 times.
And Tim Kennedy's never fighting again. He just quit.
He fucking wrecked Tim Kennedy. Wrecked him. Oh, that was brutal. Jay cried and Jay shit himself. That's why
Point for
he
us.
shit himself, crashed his car, dead. All right, Brad.
It's hard to argue with Yoel Romero, but I do love to watch some Dubron.
Oh, he's a good fighter.
Yeah, because he's either going to get knocked out or he's going to throw some like flying triangle shit and a whole bunch of flying knees and just everything flying. Like, I almost wanted to go with my boy Mr. Magma, but Dubron is actually Dubron is a good fighter, so I had to go Dubron.
Dubron, okay, that's a good answer. I'm gonna have to go Hoff here.
Absolutely, I agree.
And there's no issue with that, but there was one guy who 100% would have got the votes, and that's the same answer as the last one. Certain guy from Jersey, real good at fighting, always awesome. Frankie Edgar. Has he ever had a bad fight?
Yes.
Has he?
Remember when he got laid on by Gray Maynard the first time?
That was like pre the answer, though.
Pre the answer.
That was before he started training with Allen Iverson?
Yeah, in China, begging for money. Allen Iverson's so broke, man. He's literally outside arenas asking for quarters.
He should just go over to like China, like Stephon Marbury, and
Starbury.
Have
He got cut from
statues
China.
made to him.
I think he got cut from China.
Did he?
No, dude, he's contending for the title.
Yeah, Stephon Marbury is a hero.
No, I'm talking about Iverson.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
What about Stevie old franchise, Joey? That guy looks good.
What's he doing? He got really fat, right?
They don't like Reebok in China.
What do you think Latrell Sprewell's doing right now?
Poking PJ Carlissimo.
Raping women.
He has one of my two favorite sports quotes of all time. His was when they asked him if he would sign a contract for $4 million. His response was, $4 million? Fuck, I got kids to feed. And he literally never played another game again, declined the offer, and went file for bankruptcy. I mean, right? The other one was Nick Young, of course. With his, have you ever seen that his quote he had last year about his tattoos?
You mean Swaggy P?
Swaggy P, yeah. So he had he has a sleeve on his left arm, like tons of tattoos, and they asked him like they're like, how come you don't have any tattoos on your right arm? He goes, right arm, strictly for buckets.
Don't want to weigh it down.
Strictly
Damn
for
right.
buckets. He's the fucking greatest, man. Oh, he's so great. All right, let's move on there. Oh, I awarded a point. Yeah. All right. So we have this one. Name 3 fighters that should have retired yesterday. And this is probably gonna have a lot of repeat answers, so you can't do repeat answers. How about that? We'll start off with Sean Hoff.
Gray Maynard, Shayna Baszler.
He just fought.
Pat Kern.
Oh, you missed it, Brad.
Both
Sam Stout.
Nogueras and Josh Koscheck.
That is a very good answer.
That is a flawless victory right there.
Little Nog and Koscheck were definitely on my top 2 for sure. I love Josh Koscheck, but poor fella. Dude, do you think Josh Koscheck just kind of beats up on if Josh Koscheck, let's say, fought someone, let's say Fabricio Camoys, like he beats Fabricio Camoys still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his chin's not that bad. He's not,
It's really not.
Yeah, so I think he beats. Well, the welterweight equivalent of Fabricio Camoys. He beats.
Yeah. Well, let's take out the top 20, the top 20 of welterweight. Take out the top 20. What percentage of outside the top 20 does Koscheck beat? With
Like
the regular,
like 70?
Yeah,
At
like
least, right?
85.
yeah, right. So that's the thing when you see these guys like retire and quit. It's like he it's not like he had any steps back. Like he's only fought top 10, well, I guess whatever you want to call Eric Silva, but he's dangerous. Top 15 kind of guys. But like Gray Maynard, like if you throw one solid punch and it hits him in the face, that's
Done.
and I'm still gonna bet him in every fight because I hate myself. Of course, but man. Anyway, all right. Whose turn is it? Who's last?
That was me.
Texas.
Texas!
No repeats.
Okay, well, I got 3 good ones, and I'm going to go more from a medical concern standpoint. I'll go with 2 heavyweights. Bigfoot Silva for one. The man can't take his turd anymore, and that dude is going to kill himself with his condition, and being the fact that people that size don't live too long anyway. We'll throw Stefan Struve in there in the same category because, I mean, that's just another one of those situations where why is this guy who's already having health issues putting himself at even further risk by getting pounded in the face by huge men? And then lastly, I just saw an article the other day that Mike Swick is talking about he doesn't want to retire.
I hate that guy.
What the fuck? That guy should have been retired for 4 years.
Ken Shamrock's
Ken
fighting.
Shamrock is fighting.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Oh yeah, he's not.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna have like a big party. Like my go-to fight is gonna be Ken Shamrock versus Kimbo forever. You want to see what it's all about? Ultimate fucking fighting championships.
I'd make a really big side wager that fight never happens.
That's the fight I'm going to show coworkers who are interested in.
Yeah, that's right.
Bjorn Rebney is going to do everything he can to make sure that fight happens.
Mexico.
In Mexico.
Yeah,
Rebney Fight Promotions.
I'm gonna go with Brad. I think his were definitely the best.
That's right.
Yeah. How much will Anthony Pettis' loss affect his notoriety, sponsorships, and star power moving forward? And I'll throw in at the end a kind of a yes or no. Is his next fight at this weight class? I'll start with Brad. Team Brad.
I don't think it'll affect it that much because I really didn't think he was all that much of a star to begin with.
He was on Wheaties, my grocery store.
Yeah, he was fun to watch, but people would look at the Wheaties box and be like, "Hey, who's that guy with the weird fade?" So, yeah, he didn't.
He looks like a guy who gets 3 haircuts a week.
Yeah, he does. How many suits does he buy a week? Do you think?
Not anymore. Now it's -2.
Yeah, he has to take them to the pawn shop.
Yeah.
So I don't think it affects his notoriety too much or his sponsorships because I don't think he had all that many of them before. He's just gonna go out. He's gonna beat up some guys that are a lot worse than the guys that he fought before, and he's gonna get back to the title. And I think it is going to be at 150. And I have to go out for like 5 minutes to get my wife. So talk amongst yourselves.
Go out where?
To get
To the
her
snow.
from work.
You're going to drive somewhere?
Yes.
What?
Is that close?
How many minus points is it?
I think
To
he has
go
0.
pick up your wife.
I've got a lead.
Okay.
All right, well, hurry back. What the fuck? Fucking
We'll be
Canadians.
blinding him out while he's gone.
Fucking Canadians. Alright. So, I guess, what is it? Team Texas.
I mean, I don't really think that it hurts. I think it all depends on what happens in his next few fights. I mean, was it Habib who said that he can go to the prelims now? I think that was Habib who said that Anthony Pettis belongs on the prelims. But I think, I think if he rebounds and comes back, then it's going to be fine. I think he got smashed by RDA, and RDA is going to lose. And I personally don't think that Pettis is ever going to regain the title again.
Ever?
No.
You don't think he can beat Habib?
No, I don't think he can beat Habib. I mean, do you? Do you think that, I mean, based on the RDA fight, do you think he can beat Habib?
I don't know, it's different because you still have to fear Rafael dos Anjos' striking. He has good striking on top of he's fluid, he sets up his takedowns well with his striking. Habib has probably the worst striking in the entire division. So even though he has great takedowns, like one time he almost took Clayson Tebow down. Like he almost was 1 for 19. So
did you see Pettis defending takedowns? It was pathetic. I mean, it wasn't even a matter of RDA just being better. I mean, he didn't even know what he was doing, it seemed like.
I think he was mentally defeated after the first punch broke his face.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I do. You could kind of see, like, now I don't know if it would have changed the fight. It probably wouldn't have, more than likely, but he literally like broke his face within the first 15 seconds. So you're obviously a little bit tentative. Like it wasn't just when he was in the feet, he was very tentative. He wasn't pulling the trigger. He wasn't himself. So I do think that probably has something to do with it. And, with Habib, I don't know. I don't know. I will say I am not even a little bit excited for Dos Anjos versus Habib, and I would have been very excited about Pettis versus Habib. The trash talk would have been great. Probably not to the level of Conor versus Aldo, but I think Habib would have sold the fuck out of that fight, and I think it would have been a really good fight. But now you can't really sell a one-sided rematch, can you?
No.
Does Dos Anjos have a chance? Do you think he wins?
No way.
Yeah, I think he could win, yeah.
I think he's improved, and the amount of steroids he's taken in the last year can really bump him up. Yeah. If I can get like a plus like 250 or 300 on Dos Anjos, I think that's a must.
Yep.
I agree. That's not going to happen, though.
I think confidence is a big thing in fighting, and this guy is fucking feeling it right now.
Yeah, Habib's certainly not confident.
He hasn't fought in like he hasn't fought in like 6 or 7 years. What is he, like 46 now since last time he fought?
I
don't even know who he is.
We watched that fight yesterday. I mean, come on, it's.
He basically just laid on him, right?
No, he took him down like 17 times.
I know, but did he throw a punch?
No.
I've never seen Habib throw a punch.
No.
I've seriously never seen him throw a punch, honestly. I don't think I have.
But like I said, a guy who
Gleison Tebow. That was such a bad decision.
That was. People don't talk about that, but that fucking sucked.
I was there in Vegas, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
He went 0 for 19 on takedown attempts that fight.
And he won.
And he
doesn't know how to punch.
He doesn't. That's why I was excited about the Pettis fight, and the fact that like when that fight was in the ground and like he got a little tired or whatever, like going forward, we would have seen how it plays out. But I don't know.
That was 3 years ago. Look where RDA was 3 years ago.
He got his jaw broken in half by Clay Guida.
Exactly.
Strelf.
Clay Guida. I mean, I think Clay Guida is just versus Habib Nurmagomedov, just what the fans want. So, anyway, Sean Hoff, anything to add here?
Casey, you better answer this one. I've got to go wash my car. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Sorry, I'm feeding my baby. I don't have the time either. I gotta
go. Anybody else cutting out?
I think that's good.
I think that Pettis will get a massive soft touch in his next fight. He'll do something super fancy and then talk about how he had a bad out his last time, and he'll be right back to where he came from.
Honestly, for the UFC, they could put on this. They could put Habib RDA, and then I don't know if that'd be a main event. Maybe they do I don't know, and then put as a co-main eventer also on the same card, Pettis versus Fabricio Camois.
Cowboy's going to beat Khabib. Then they'll have Cowboy versus RDA, sellable as Cowboy, and Pettis will be against Khabib. That's how it's going to sell. It's worked. Front Row Brian told me this already.
There's only one. There's only one issue, and that's Cerrone. I would give him so little chance in that fight.
He's going to knee him straight in the face on his 19th takedown. It's going to happen.
Am I the only one who thinks Cerrone has looked like absolute piles of shit in his last two fights?
Nope.
Oh, the last one.
No, last two. Ben Henderson.
Last two for sure.
Yeah,
I thought he
lost the bet.
The Jury fight was pretty bad.
I thought he looked like shit against Jury.
Yeah,
he didn't look great. Well, Jury mostly because Jury wouldn't engage.
I don't care, but I thought he looked like shit though. I just thought he didn't look good at all.
He started slow against Jim Miller too.
Yeah, I do not think I like watching Cowboy fight, and I know Hoff wants to suck on his dick and everything, but
that's false.
Give me a break. You've seen that bod.
He's more of a butthole guy.
But even if you look back since really the Edson Barbosa fight, I mean even the Jim Miller fight, he lost the first round to Jim Miller, and the Eddie Alvarez fight, he lost the first round to Eddie Alvarez. I don't know. I'm just not. He lost all 3 rounds to Benson Henderson. I don't know. Well, we'll see. So where was that? I don't remember what I was talking about.
You were giving me a point for my Pettis answer.
Sean point. All right.
Okay.
What? Dana White has said that the UFC has spent more money promoting UFC 189 than any other card in history, which is what the fuck. Anyway, it's weird how that works. You spend money on marketing, and then the public knows more about it, and they buy more. Who would have thought? But the question being, A, does this get 1 million buys? B, how many buys does it get? We'll start with, I guess not Brad, since he's on a bus somewhere.
Team Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Well, I think it's definitely going to pay off, and it'll do a lot of buys, but was the question, will it do 1 million? Oh, no, I'm sorry, I was reading.
Go
ahead.
I added, will it do 1 million? Will it do 1 million for one?
No.
And 2, what does it get?
I believe last time I was on here, I said that it would do still less than Ronda's last fight, and I'm sort of backtracking on that, but I think it'll be similar.
I'm vetoing that answer. It's going to do 850,000.
How many did that do?
850.
Six something, right? Ronda's last fight?
I thought Ronda did 500.
Ronda's did 5 to 6, right?
Yeah, something like.
So
I remember 6.
Let's say 550. I would bet my house that it does more than 550.
Okay.
The whole house. Don't forget, as far as marketing and stuff goes, money's everything. When you put more money into it, you're gonna get more. Look at this fucking world tour shit they're doing. Every city, this thing is gonna be bananas in my opinion. Sean?
All right.
I don't think it does 1 million. I don't think anything does 1 million except for Brock Lesnar. It's just that simple.
You don't think?
No, I don't think that. I think the biggest draw is John Jones. John Jones ain't pulling it off. I don't think anybody else is pulling it off.
Is John Jones the biggest draw? Could you make an argument that right now that Conor McGregor is the biggest draw in the UFC?
No. Why could you make that argument?
I don't think we know yet.
He's got to win. If he wins, he is.
I'll say this. I work in an office with tons and tons of people who don't watch MMA in our age group. Every single one of them, girls, everyone knows Conor fucking McGregor. They know Conor McGregor and they know Ronda Rousey. They don't know John Jones.
Same with my work. They hate MMA and they still know Conor McGregor.
They know Conor McGregor. You know what they call him? That crazy fucking Irish guy I see on TV all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When's he fight? July, which is what, 4 months from now? Sweet. Are you going to order it? I'm like, you watch fights? They're like, no, I don't. But I want to see what this crazy fucking Irish guy does.
Plus, there's another title fight on that card, too.
Yeah, which no one gives a fuck about, but still, it's good for, talking about it. But, man, this is one of those fights that, everyone wants to see, regardless if you're a fan or not. What is the crazy Irish fuck gonna do? UFC is putting so much money into this, and, I don't know. I'll say this. I don't know if it does 1 million buys, but if this one doesn't do 1 million buys, then I don't know if we'll ever see it. I'll say this.
I think that it would help to do. It would do more buys if Aldo could speak fucking English.
Agreed.
I don't think it. See, I don't think it matters.
It does matter though. I've seen the Fox Sports interview yesterday, and first of all, that translator was awful, and secondly, there's just no heat. You can't keep the heat going because McGregor's saying witty shit, and Aldo's just staring at him he can't understand what he's saying. And it's
like I said, Aldo could be fighting a test dummy, and everyone in my office and Joe Public's going to go, I want to see what that crazy Irish guy is going to do. He just said he was going to eat his family. Who cares who the other guy is? This fucking guy just went on TV and said, I'm going to murder your family. I want to see what happens. This other dude hasn't lost in 10... And then the first question is this other dude, the Irish guy's fighting good? Yeah, he hasn't lost in 10 years. Oh my god. Yeah,
but imagine if he could talk back, though. If he could talk back, I
think he's done a good job for what he is, though. I think he's putting back enough. I think he's putting back as much as you can. He's the fucking champ. There is something to be said that, a champ... Conor's the one selling this fight. He's facing a guy who hasn't lost in 10 years, a guy who's unbeatable, And, there's something to that, but I'm telling you...
Why doesn't he speak English, though? How long has he been the champ? What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I don't expect English.
He spec chill, he spec no one.
That's already better English than all those capable.
If you make all your money in the United States and then you complain about fucking money every time you talk, you need to learn how to speak English.
Indeed.
I agree.
The only word he's learned is never. He says, I'm going to take your belt. He says never. That's the only word all the time.
I do normally, because of, where I work and stuff and, the age group and everything, it's I usually have a pretty good sense of when a good, a big card, a big fight, this last card. What was it, 185? What was the last pay-per-view?
185.
Yeah,
185. One person in my office knew knew any one of this fucking card. Now, fight fans thought this was a great card, right? We all thought it was, as far as, a fight card, it was great. It was a really good fight card. Not one person
Are we recording a podcast or something here? What's going on?
No,
you're back.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Brad, Santos is losing 3-1.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Why are they doing that?
Because Brazil.
Oh,
because they don't speak English.
That is because they don't speak English.
You don't need English. But Brad, we were talking about how many buys Aldo versus Conor gets, and we were kind of going off tangents, but I think it's going to do absolutely gigantor numbers. What do you think? Is it going to do it? Will it do 1 million?
No.
How close?
I think it'll do 800,000.
Which is pretty high for this day and age.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 800,001.
You Price is
righted me.
So I think as much as promotion we're going to see now, I think there's going to be so much promotion for this fight in July. It's going to be absolutely obnoxious. I think ESPN's going to promote it all. I think everyone's going to promote it. I think it gets 1 million buys.
I think so too. There's a reason boxing has been doing this for years with secondary fights with Cotto and shit like that. It's not just Mayweather. They do it city to city. There's a reason for it, and they always get 1 million buys. I think it's going to happen.
I really do, and I'm expecting a super weak fucking card around it. Super weak. Because you don't need a better card around it.
Yeah,
It's not
Lawler
one fucking
McDonald.
fight.
Lawler
But I mean,
McDonald.
outside of those fights, I'm not expecting much because you don't need to. I mean, maybe they try to soup it up and make it all crazy, but like Connor, love him, hate him, think he sucks, think he's great. This motherfucker's doing his job. So that's my answer for that one. So let's keep moving on. Rousey Cyborg, we've talked about it a lot. Everyone's talked about it a lot. So does it happen by the end of 2016? Does it happen at 135? Do you give a shit? We'll start with you, Brad.
I don't think it happens by the end of 2016, and I don't care if it happens at 135 or 140 or whatever other weight they come up with. But yeah, I think that Rousey's probably going to go off to Hollywood, and Cyborg is, I don't know what she's going to do, probably some roids. But yeah, I just don't see this fight materializing. MMA is really bad at putting together super fights, and this is another one that I guess people would class as a super fight, and I just don't think it's going to happen.
Sean Hoff.
I don't think it happens. I think that Rousey goes away first. I think that Cyborg takes her spot and smashes the horrible division that's left over, and then we set up some kind of, Rousey's returning to fight Cyborg, where it doesn't mean anything at all. That kind of thing happens. I don't think Dana wants that fight to happen. I don't think they want to cash in the cash cow to another person who doesn't speak English. I don't think it's going to happen.
Why not?
Because of what I just said, you homo.
Oh, fuck it. You're fired. Team Texas.
I kind of agree with Sean on the lines that I don't even know if the UFC really wants this fight to happen because, if they take Rousey out of the equation, then that women's division, in my opinion, just goes back to being not cared about at all. No offense to the ladies out there, but
We don't
secondly,
apologize to ladies on this show.
I don't think. Okay, well, in America, Brad, that's what I do. I say, I'm sorry, ladies. You just go pick up your wife from wherever she was 15 minutes away. And
Yeah,
anyways.
fucking communist.
Yeah, so, but I don't think Cyborg can make the weight anyway. That's what I think. She's too jacked up on freaking Magma.
Yeah, I mean, if you can have Ronda Rousey beat chicks in 14 seconds and still sell 600,000 pay-per-views, why? What else do you need?
Yes, why would you put her in there? Why would you put her in there with an actual fight?
Exactly. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Let's move it on here. So we have best prop bet you ever made. I'll start with Sean Hoff.
Casey?
My best prop bet I have made straight up was Johnny Hendricks beating GSP by decision. I was robbed. I'm still mad. And I'm still mad. That's all there is to it.
That's fair.
Fuck Canada, by the way.
Team Texas.
Yeah, the recent one is Samuel James Stout. Round 1, TKO. Boom.
What? That didn't even hit.
But that didn't happen.
That he lost?
No.
Are you talking about the Eve Edwards fight, or what?
That wasn't recent.
What fight am I?
I'm confused, Jeremy.
Yeah, me too.
Jeremy, let's start over.
Point, Jeremy.
I thought this was going somewhere good.
Jeremy, let's start over. Why don't you try again?
Oh, why don't you just hand it off to Joey? I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Joey, what do you got?
Ouch.
Well, damn.
Even
Dude,
better.
I'm still confused. Okay, no lie. Let's go on to our live betting here. Unposted live betting. I shit you not. BJ pinned Frankie Edgar 3. Midway between the first and second round, the under 2.5 was like plus 415, and I took that live, unposted, undocumented, and I cashed it for all the units.
They still cash it. Brad?
All the units.
Yeah, my best prop play was TJ Dillashaw inside the distance against the kidney baron, the renal Barrow. Yeah, there was plus like 1,100 or something like that, and beat the brakes off him in the first round. I thought he was going to get the finish there. I was all excited, and then he didn't, and then I almost shit my pants, and then he finished him in the 5th round, and then I actually shit my pants because I was so excited.
Why not?
Nice.
Right? So I've hit bigger props. I hit like Sam Alvey first round, which I think was like plus 1100. But my favorite prop ever is I took it like literally like a minute before the fight started. It was back in Strikeforce. It was Jacare versus Derek Brunson. I took Jacare versus by knockout over Derek Brunson at plus 900. Knocked him out in the first 30 seconds, and it was Jacare's first ever knockout win.
I knew you
By
were
far my
say
favorite.
I've been friends with him too long. Internet friends.
I've heard that one on the podcast, too.
Me too.
It's all a lie. It never happened.
I knew it.
I was thinking Sam Alvey.
Did you guys just see the hilarious Claudio Gadella tweets from like the last day?
No.
So, UFC, I guess, had scheduled a drug test with Aisling Daly, and they like gave her a drug test or something like that, which is hilarious in itself. And then she tweeted something like something about like when's Claudia's turn, blah blah blah. And then the next day, Claudio Gadella pulled out of the fight.
Oh, that fight's off?
Yeah, they were getting a drug test. So she was hurt.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So Magma, chick Magma.
How many chicks are on the Magma, do you think?
Those abs, though.
She would definitely beat me, and she's a 115-pound man.
Ryan Bader abs on Gadella's body.
Not as nice. Bader's are way better.
Yeah, you would like the man abs better.
All right, let's do. We have a little bit of time left. Let's do the lightning round. I'm just going to go through and ask each team one question, then we'll go through. So, start with you, Brad. Over and under 3.5 Kane fights before he retires.
Under.
Wow, that was quick. We'll just ask them all. Team Texas.
Over.
Ooh, disagree.
And
Under.
Sean Hoff.
Under.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Over.
How old is Kane?
You know, to go over, he actually has to fight again.
How old is he? He's only 32. I would go over. All right, next question. Pettis wins his next fight in the first round. Brad.
I'm going to say true.
Sean Hoff.
Casey.
It's true.
No?
Yeah. Yes.
And then sweep Team Texas.
Yes.
True.
Team Texas is slow.
I think you guys are drunk. Both of
I
you.
am definitely drunk.
All right. This one's kind of a given. We already talked about it, but RDA loses in the first title defense. I think everyone pretty much said they're taking Khabib here. Or does anyone like the upset?
No.
Khabib pulls out.
RDA wins.
I'll take RDA.
Well, RDA beats Cerrone, because Cerrone's going to beat Khabib.
There you
That's
go.
fair. That's fair. Ronda literally kills Beth Correa.
Yeah.
Brad?
I literally, or like MMA literally?
I think MMA literally.
MMA literally, definitely.
But not literally.
No.
All right. That's
Well,
fair.
maybe.
Yeah. Team Texas?
I hope so.
I don't think you can die from a dislocated arm. But
What if she tears her arm right off and bitchy bleeds to death?
Can she
That's
go for the
fair.
face? Because that's a hideous nose.
It really is.
Yeah.
Sean
it's
Hoff,
out there.
anything to add?
Yeah, I think Ronda rips her tampon out and throws it in the third row.
All right. CM Punk wins first fight in the UFC. Brad?
False.
Really? You don't think you can
Against
beat
Joe
the
Riggs.
corpse of... What about the ghost of Evan Tanner? We talked about that.
I don't know. That's pretty spooky. I'd be
Evan Tanner's
spooked
tough.
if I was in there. With it.
Evan Tanner's a UFC veteran.
Former champion.
Yeah. Sean Hoff? Yes, no.
Casey?
No, because I'm putting my name in the hat. I want to fight CM Punk. I already challenged Bill Goldberg to a kickboxing match. He ducked me for favor of some girl named Alberta. No, I'm going to fight him. He's already talked shit, and around here you talk shit, you get spin kicked. So I need the whole... all 7 of you. You need to tweet Dana White, tweet Lorenzo, because he's the boss, tweet CM Punk, say, name the date, name the time, There'll be 2 hits that night. Me spin kicking CM Punk in the face, and then Seal's Kiss from a Rose while I'm celebrating because I love that song.
All right.
Casey just went full Mexican right there.
I think that's a good. I think that's a good finish. We're not gonna do any of these extra questions either.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I think we're good, and I think Ella's getting up because her teeth hurt. So, all right. Well, I think that's gonna do it. So I guess I'll award the winner. I'm gonna go solo Brad.
That's right.
He was gone half the time.
He
left.
better I am than you guys.
Still won.
Won.
Santos is
Solo.
losing.
This is Jewish stuff.
Hey,
Solo Brad.
the
Team Texas
scoreboard
last.
reads 5 for Solo Brad, 4.5
I just cut the best
for
promo
Sean,
since like Ric
for
Flair. I
Sean
didn't get-
Hoff, and 2.5 for Team Slow Texas.
Dude,
This is
Texas
a
had to do
robbery.
better than that.
Hey, by the
That
way, I
a
was thinking of
robbery.
my Sam Alvey bet.
Yeah, what
my
the
wife
fuck,
was
Jeremy?
Look, I'm only half an idiot, all right?
That makes
Oh,
sense.
am I the
I
other
got
half?
Sam. I got the first name right.
Anyway, so that'll do it for this week's show. I really appreciate everyone coming on and listening. Thanks to all our special guests. We really enjoy you guys having on. We'll have to do these around the horn more often, but that'll do it. So if everyone give these guys a follow, we'll tweet out the link. We'll make sure we give you guys their Twitter handles and everything. So that'll do it for this week's show. We'll be back next week to cover the UFC in Virginia card. So that'll do it, and you guys have a good weekend. Thank you.
Peace.